what's going on, guys? This is my very first video blog, so bear with me. What I'm here to talk about today is a very controversial, a very touchy subject that seems to be put on the back burner for a long time, and I'm hopefully starting to do something about it. I guess you can say this is about fathers' rights and about fathers having rights to their children just as well as mothers do. Now, let me start by saying that I am not an anti-woman hater. I'm not against mothers or any of that things. None of that is true. I am simply a father speaking from experience, and through my own mishaps and through stories of people that I know as well, I see it happen all too many times where fathers try to get involved in the children's lives, whether it be in the courtroom or out of the courtroom. We get shut down and we get denied our rights simply because we're men. And we may not be as good of a parent as the mother may be. Now, let's just slow things down here a little bit. Me, personally, I believe if there's a child involved in a breakup and things just aren't working out, the best case scenario for that child is that both parents see that child 50-50 custody. However you guys arrange it, obviously it's up to you. Every situation is different. Every case is different. There are no two scenarios that are exactly the same. So no two things can be handled the same. However, just because two people split up and there may be a lot of animosity and a lot of hate towards each other, which is perfectly understandable. However, we need to keep our cool, and we need to understand that we brought a life into this world, and like it or not, we're going to have to deal with each other for the rest of our lives. So the key is to, as much as we got to swallow our pride and put it aside, we have to get along, we have to communicate, we can't be spiteful, we can't be degrading each other, especially in front of the child. You know, as a guy, I can sit here and tell you that there are a lot of deadbeat dads out there, and I'm well aware of that, and it's very unfortunate, and I have zero respect for any of them deadbeat dads out there. I really do, because they're really missing out on one of the best joys in the world, and that is watching your son or your daughter grow up and change and learn and live. So, needless to say, there are also some deadbeat mothers out there, unfortunately, but most of the time it's usually the deadbeat dads that get the bad name. So, what I'm here to preach about, talk about, whatever you want to label it as, is getting equal rights for fathers like myself and millions others out there as well, trying to fight to get more time with their children. Again, this is not an anti-woman video. I am pro both parents as equally as possible given your current situation. Obviously, if two people live further away, things are more difficult. And understandably, you got to work on things a little harder. But in some situations where it is possible, the child should be with both parents as equally as much as possible. I think it's very important for the child, whether it be a boy or girl, be interactive with their biological mother and their biological father, as long as there's no, threats of abuse or any other things like that. And, you just need to communicate, keep things open. Like I said, I'm not anti-woman, and it's unfortunate that if you, as a couple, cannot agree to things and you go to court, like myself, I've been down the court road for almost 3 years now. It's very time-consuming, it's very expensive, and it's just simply not needed. It's really not. Um, it almost seems like it's very one-sided, very biased, very female, very mother-friendly. You pretty much have to be a very deadbeat mother for the mother to lose any kind of custody of your child, which, again, is fine. However, I think it's time for us dads to step up to the plate, the ones that really need to have our voices heard, that we really want to be involved in our child's life just as much as the mother and be respected as a parent as much as the mother is, to try to take this back. You know, just because you are the woman and, you know, you carried the child for 9 months and you gave birth, which, don't get me wrong, I give you guys a lot of credit. I really do, because I have no idea how the hell I would be able to do that. So, again, I give you guys kudos, I give you mad props. But just based on those facts alone, just because you carried the child and you gave birth, does not automatically make you the better parent. There are a lot of other things that go into, determining that, and there really shouldn't be a better parent. Both parents, I'm sure, should be the best to their capability. Unfortunately, some people don't know how to do that. Some people need help. Some people need classes, especially first-time parents. Obviously, we've never been parents before. It takes time. It takes getting used to. It takes trial and error, finding out what works, what doesn't work. But again, it gets back to my original point. Just because we are men and we stick around and we want to be involved in a child's life doesn't mean that we have to be put through hell to be able to get the same rights that women automatically get. Usually right off the bat with no ifs, ands, or buts, or no reconsideration. Yes, women tend to be more nurturing and more affectionate, which is fine. Those are all the stereotypes, but that doesn't mean that they are better parents than men. I think things just need to be on a more equally playing field these days, and it's time something really needs to get done about this, because it's happening way too often. Way too many good guys out there. And again, like I said earlier, there are plenty of deadbeat dads out there, and you guys know who I'm talking about. And no respect for them guys. I don't even call them men. They're not men. They're cowards. You know the type. You knock a girl up and leave them. It's pathetic. It's our excuse for a man. And it's the same thing. There's some women out there that are like that too, that, give birth to the child and things happen, they leave it with the father and they've split. And I don't know. I can't answer for either one of them. I have no idea how you could possibly humanly do that and live with yourself every day and wake up realizing that, you have a child out there and they have no idea who the hell you are. I couldn't imagine doing that. Could not imagine doing that. And again, the whole purpose of this video blog, I guess you can say, this is my first time, so bear with me, is just to get the word out there that, there are single fathers out there that need to take a stand. We want to take a stand. We want to show you that it's not just women that are the better parent, that are the only parent. We are parents as well. We may not be the woman, we may not have carried the child, we may not have given birth, we may not be the best, but we are the other half of what that child is. We are the other half of the reason why that child is in existence. And I'm a firm believer that each child needs to have a steady dose of mother and father in their life as much as possible and as much as the current situation allows to. And, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of positive and a lot of negative feedback from this, and that's fine. This is the internet. I'm actually looking forward to it. I have a lot of crazy stories about my court hearings, about my personal requests to the mother. It's been a very interesting roller coaster ride, this whole custody situation. Like I said, I spent numerous hours, numerous court hearings, numerous mediations that all have gone nowhere. Spent thousands of dollars on lawyers, which I think is pointless. I mean, why spend that money on attorney fees and court costs when you can be spending that money on the child which you're debating about? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm a firm believer in trying to take care of things outside of court. Settle things on your own. Make up your own agreement. There's a lot of people out there that have done this and done it well. And for those of you who have done that, I give you credit. Good job. Um, I myself am very envious of those who have done that. So again, that's the end of my clip. It's pretty much my storyline right there. So based on your comments, maybe there's more, maybe not. Let's hear some of your stories, some horror stories, or some of you that got things worked out really well. I'd like to hear both sides. Thanks for listening.